I found out my husband of 11 years cheated and lied about it for 7 years. How do I cope? My husband, 32M, and I, 34F, married in 2014, I always felt a strong and stable connection with him. I felt as if he was my other half, my soulmate, and my best friend. I always had complete trust in him and never would have thought he would ever do anything to hurt me. Throughout the years he asked a few things of me, such as losing weight for my health and working on myself. As far as how I think, I did lose over 120 pounds and started being a more positive person and thought he was helping me become a better person or version of myself. In 2019 he started asking for a threesome and used the analogy of I'm a minivan and sometimes he wants to test drive something else, something different, like a sports car. He pressured me to sleep with my best friend. He found her sexy and swore it would be a one and done thing. After many months I finally gave in and said yes. I did have conditions. One is that it would not be in our home since we do have several children. The second is that he would use protection. I told him I completely didn't feel comfortable with it, but it was going to get him to stop. Then fine, came the day of everything went out the window. He didn't use protection. He brought her to our home in our bed with our children sleeping in their rooms down the hall. To make it worse, I stood there and watched the whole thing go down and was just on the sideline. It's like I wasn't even there. He told me I was making it awkward and left the room clearly upset. He and my friend went on to finish. Fast forward to a few weeks later, she thinks she is pregnant. I talked to her and told him and he wasn't really fazed by it. I was really hurt because he wanted no more kids with me even though I wanted one more. A few weeks after that she tells me she went to the docs and it was a false pregnancy. Even though I was traumatized and scarred, I chose to work through it because I love him. I did start to look through his phone and realized he would look at a lot of videos of girls, streamers, porn etc. It made me feel very insecure and he still expressed that he had an urge to want to be with other women sexually, but if he ever had the urge to cheat, he would call me beforehand to let me know. Over the past few months he has been going to get massages for his back. I was a bit suspicious because of how often he was going, but when I woke check his location it would show he was at the massage place. Then just last week he hit me with a confession that he was going and getting happy endings at the massage place even though we were hurting on money. I wanted to buy a certain gift for our son for Xmas and he told me no, but he had money to get all those massages. I still felt like there was more, but he swore up and down. I pressured him and finally the whole truth came out. The first time he ever cheated on me was when we were 3 years married and I was pregnant at the time. He paid a stripper and let him do it with her. He was at work at the time and went and did it with her. I am completely dumbfounded right now. We have been married for almost 11 years and everything seems like one big lie. I don't even know what to do. I am in complete shock. He wants to work it out, but I truly wonder if he is just with me because of the kids. I've done everything he has ever asked of me. I've tried my best to make him happy and it feels like it's not enough. He admits that he has a problem. He said he thinks he wanted to have his cake and eat it too. He said he loves me, but in my eyes you don't do this to someone you love. I don't even know where to begin or how to heal from something like this. I feel like my whole world has shattered. I feel like a piece of me has died. The husband I love is not the person I thought he was. I feel like I don't know who I'm married to. I have been completely committed to him and to be honest I don't even look or check out other guys. I don't stray even in the slightest. I have eyes for him and only him. The betrayal is so unreal right now. How do married couples move past something like this? I feel lost. A little help or advice would be appreciated. We are going to start marriage counseling. Second story. My 24M relationship hasn't felt right for the past month and I couldn't put a finger on it. She, 25F, has male friends, but she was getting very close to a male coworker. I let it slide because she had my total loyalty and trust. My past ex-girlfriend had a male best friend but there were no issues, so why should I suspect? I have been traveling for most of the year. Most of it was for work and recently it was to spend time with family. The distance really got to us. She cheated and I understand. We are visiting my family on another state and during this time for the past 3 days her coworker has called each day to talk for over an hour. That was the huge red flag for me about the connection between them. I never felt the need to check her phone, but for the first time I did. They have been talking way more than her and I, and sending good morning and good night texts, the last one being him sending a kissing emoji during a good night text about 2 weeks ago. I questioned her love for me. She said of course she did. We talked for an hour or two about what we're doing wrong in our relationship and how I drove her away. Then she says that's why she's been petty over the last month, but I didn't initially press on about it. Ugh, Kai. We talked maybe an hour more. She really sweet-talked me and reassured me how much she loves me and how much she wants to start a family. I was still in the bargaining stages of grief, so we were mainly talking about how we would make our relationship better. She sounded so sweet about us. I still didn't have confirmation about her cheating, but our conversation and sympathy toward each other was so comforting that I still wanted a relationship with her. However, I didn't feel right after our conversation. I didn't get confirmation from herself that she cheated, and, at that time, I didn't want that confirmation because she is genuinely the sweetest person I know and she has a gem of a personality. Yet, I didn't feel satisfied, and as time continued, I just felt this crushing weight of distrust. On top of that, it was making me so confused how reassured she was in our relationship and how we are soulmates. I started hurting emotionally really badly. She could tell I was struggling with how I felt about her. She would hug and caress me but would stay silent. Then she asked me how I felt. I told her I felt so confused about the way she was acting for the past month, and how, at this moment, she could just treat everything as being normal. She said it's easy to forget about your partner when they're not there. I told her it doesn't make what she did right. Then she said she has had a lot of practice hiding her emotions and wanting to just be happy. This broke me, yet also gave me such a sense of relief because I have closure and my emotional turmoil is not dragging on so heavily. However, how she has been handling my confrontation has broken my mind. I just don't understand. Through this whole ordeal, she has been telling me how I'm her soulmate. I love her so much and maybe could have gotten past this, but how she handled admitting her infidelity is so worrisome. She didn't even apologize. She is now moping because she knows I know for sure now. Maybe earlier, she was thinking that I was thinking she didn't cheat. I just see it as a huge red flag that for the past few weeks she could treat me with so much love like nothing happened and not showing any guilt during our anniversary trip. How could we be right for each other if she could lie and pretend like she hadn't cheated? This instantly ended my grieving as I cannot trust her enough for her to even directly admit or apologize about cheating. If someone can lie this well, there is no way I could trust her going forward. TLDR, I feel like I could have forgiven my cheating girlfriend if she admitted to cheating herself. Update, I, 24M, found out my girlfriend, 25F, was building an emotional affair with a coworker last year and I found out during Thanksgiving. I felt angry, betrayed and hurt. She stated she wanted to continue a relationship with me. I was reluctant but decided to attempt a reconciliation with her after she begged. 5 months later and we broke up today, lol. She ended her communication with her coworker but let me know she could not mentally get over him, so I stopped trying to fight for us. It was an easy breakup on my end because the longer I stayed and tried to work things out with her, the more I observed of her negative qualities. I realized how difficult it is for her to communicate her needs and that she will not say anything unless I prompted her to. I also learned that she needs constant validation and attention to feel worthy and she confidently makes promises that she can't fulfill. On my end, staying in the relationship also showed me how I failed to be a good partner. In the past, I could have been more attentive, appreciative, and enthusiastic about her. It was becoming hard for me to stay and to keep trying. However, observing our relationship dynamic helped me define traits that I'd want in a future partner. If I were to pursue a long-term relationship again, I'd at least be looking for someone who can communicate their needs, having conflict resolution skills, fulfill their promises, feel comfortable with themselves, and can be upfront and direct. During the last 2 months, I tried to work on myself to be a better partner, but I could tell she was not putting in the same amount of effort. While our relationship dragged on, I did come to some personal revelations. I cannot look for love, validation, and acceptance from an outside person. I thought I had found a safe person who could provide me that. Instead, I realized that those are things I can only get when I give it to myself. I cannot rely on someone else to feel like I belong in this world. That was the hardest but most valuable personal revelation. It allowed me to say that it's okay to continue my life without her and that I don't need another person to feel fulfilled in this life. I cannot waste my energy feeling anxious about another person. I cannot control another person's behavior or feelings. I can't make sure that they love me. I can't guarantee that they will never cheat. I can only control my own behavior and feelings. I can only put that negative, restless energy into what I can control, my own personal growth and knowledge. I am able to set enforceable boundaries. I have the ability to let people know what I am not uncomfortable with, and if they cannot respect my boundary, I know that I can and will walk away. Love is fickle. Committed relationships shouldn't continue if two partners aren't able to continue to meet each other's needs. There should be no shame ending a relationship if the mutual benefit is no longer there. TLDR, my 24M relationship ended after my partner, 25F, was having an emotional affair with a coworker, 27M, and we failed to reconcile.